Christina Sames is here from AGA. CJ Osman from INGA. And Patrick Smythe is here from SEPA, our Canadian folks to the north. And John Studi, AOPL. Can't miss John, he's the guy that's 8 feet tall. So for any of the public that really has questions about what the industry does or why they do it, those are good folks to talk with. Also just want to thank people who have donated money to help citizens participate in this conference. I think we spent this year over $23,000 helping citizens attend. Often they can't come to things like this because they don't have the money for travel or those types of things. And these 5 organizations donated to help get people here. So we really appreciate that. It shows that they're kind of going beyond awareness and starting to do more strategic public engagement. Also want to thank PHMSA for webcasting. This is being webcast live. I saw our Facebook page took off last night, especially a bunch of tribal folks in North Dakota. Welcome if you're watching. There's people all over North America watching us live, and I want to welcome them to the webcast. There's questions there. As our sessions go on today, people online can ask questions at the sessions if they send an email to that questions@pstrust.org. I have an amazing job because I get to hang out with all kinds of interesting people. Everything from a couple of secretaries of transportation to the upper echelons at PHMSA, the administrator, the head of the National Energy Board of Canada. I've got to know in the last few years congressmen like John Dingell up there on the right, probably the longest seated person that ever ran the House Energy Committee. FERC commissioners, our own board, and then I get to hang out with the environmental, what some people in the room would think we're radicals too, like Jane Klebb there in the middle. And they all kind of help steer my thinking on things, and you come away with a much richer understanding of the issues as you deal with people on all sides of that. I also want to thank the people that are in the trenches every day doing this stuff. As this conference unfolds, oftentimes you'll hear things that may be a little pushing the envelope a little bit, maybe offensive to some people. There's no intent on that. We're just trying to move pipeline safety forward as much as possible. But there's no intent to undermine the people that are out there in the ditches fixing the pipelines, or the PHMSA and state inspectors who are out doing the hard work every day in some boring little office looking at piles of paperwork. They're the ones that keep things safe. Or all the pipeline employees I've met on field tours that every day show up and do jobs that might not be as glamorous as sitting in a room like this with crystal chandeliers, but they're the ones really doing the things to keep it safe. And also the people that are, questioning why pipes are going into the ground, or why we're putting pipelines in different places, or showing up at hearings and testifying. I think all of those things, move to keep pipelines safe. And you've seen my 3-legged stool multiple times. I think there's a picture of it early on that talked a little bit about how we need both the public, the regulators, and the industry if we really want sustainable pipeline safety. This event is really a place where all different sides get to speak your mind, but we try to do that in a respectful manner, so I ask that today too. Last year I got myself in big trouble speaking my mind, and I'm still paying for it, because at one point I kind of came out of the closet. I came out of the closet not as a gay man. We're going to hold that one off for a couple years, but as a keep it in the grounder. I came up here and I said that, after looking at scientific information, a consensus of scientific information about the need to transition away from fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, I'd come to the conclusion that we really do need, as a species, to transition off those things as soon as possible. Now, I don't know what as soon as possible means or what transition means, but it's clear to me that we need to do that. And if we need to do that, that means that some of these new pipelines that are being built that are just for exports are of question. It means that some of this new production that's going on to get stuff out of the ground, and then the need for pipelines to keep those wells going, may be of question to many. And I said that out loud, and oh my goodness, I was in all kinds of trouble. So I won't talk about that again at all during this meeting this year. I won't talk about that at all. We really want to focus, like the picture there, on the critical infrastructure that's in the ground at this point. Because you can be a keep it in the grounder like I am, and at the same time focus on the issue of the 2 or 3 million miles of pipelines that already exist and how do we keep them from doing any harm to people or the environment. That is what I had to start off things this morning. Thank you for attending. We're going to bring up our first keynote, who I am